Welcome, America, to episode 1 of Wednesday Center Field. Now, this is meant to be an episode to get you grounded and ready for your Wednesday, but since it's being recorded early Wednesday morning before the market opening, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the markets in general and get a general idea of how the markets have been doing earlier in the week and in general over a period of time to see how things are going. This is meant to help us train ourselves to look at the market over a longer period of time, not to necessarily be a day trader, because we do know from history that day traders about 80 to 90% of the time lose money, and we don't want to have a losing strategy. Whereas when you buy and hold for the long term, you're much more likely to be an investor rather than a gambler. Let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to share some insights into the market, how things have been going so far this week. So the Dow Jones, it looks like it's been up about 0.25%. Let's take a look at the 5-day. It's been up about 0.69%, generally trending upwards. The last 1 month, 1% up. So the Dow Jones has been up about 11% over the last 1 year. The last 1 month, 5 days, 1 day, all looking positive. So let's take a look at the S&P 500. The 1 day, it was up about 0.55 as of the end of the day, Tuesday. 5-day, it was up an even 1%. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the 1 year. The 1 year, it's been up close to 12.34%, close to 12.5%. So the 1 year, the market's been up. Now, the next index we're going to look at is the NASDAQ. I want to take a quick look at the NASDAQ. How has the NASDAQ been doing? Well, in the 1 day, it's been up close to 0.75% or 0.66. I guess that's 2/3%. The 5-day, we're up 1.17%. And over the 1 month, 5% up. Amazing. Over the 1 year, 14.22%. Wow. So incredible returns, all well north of 8%, which most people seem to think is what the market does. But we can see even in what's relatively considered a bad year, we're getting a 10% up to 14.5%, 12.5%, all of those on the major indexes, which I feel could be relatively achievable for the average investor if it fits their risk tolerance. Now remember, this channel is not specific financial advice for you. I do expect that you'll be doing your own research, talking to your financial advisor. If you don't have a financial advisor and you're interested in having me be your financial advisor, feel free to let me know. I'll put my contact information in this video for you in case you want to get a hold of me. All right, I'm licensed in California, but depending on where my clients are, typically it's not a problem for me to get registered in whatever state they're in any of the United States. One of the big stories this year, one of the amazing stories, the amazing rally on gold. So let's take a look at what gold's been doing this year. If you haven't been watching gold and you want to find out about it, this is a good wake-up call. We're going to take a look at this AMPAX. I guess it's the price for gold here. And up in the 1 week, it looks like it's down about 0.75%. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1 month. Over 1 month, it's actually about 3.23%. And then if we go for the 1 year, gold has been up an amazing 41% from the price where it was just a year ago, where it was coming in at about 23.55 to now it's coming in 33.47, something to that effect. So anyway, up $986.40, up 41% from where it was last year. So quite a rally on gold over the last year, and you can see the way the chart's going. We've had some ups and downs, but a steady uphill climb on gold. All right, so I did a little search just for today to have a little bit of fun. What are the most searched stocks right now going on this week? And the first stock we're going to look at, which has been searched a lot this week, is Intel Corp. The ticker is INTC. And Intel Corp, over the last 5 years, it's been kind of a rough story. That stock has actually been down 62%, almost 63%. We're going to take a look at the 1 year. The 1 year, oh my gosh, look, it really fell off the cliff in August 24. And gosh, it just hasn't had much of a recovery. It's been kind of down to the same level off and on since then. We've had some jumps up and down, but it's been rough. If you're loving Intel, it's been a tough one to stomach here. So over the 1 year, it's been down 28.5%. Let's take a look over the 5 days. What's going on with that? Over the 5 days, well, it's been up about 9% over the last 5 days, so that's good. But since generally we're not necessarily day traders here, at least I hope not, over the 5 years, this stock has been tanking. Over the last 1 year, been pretty rough, about down 29%. And let's see what's happened over the last 1 month. Last 1 month, it's been relatively flat. So let's go ahead and move on to the next stock that's been Nvidia. Everyone's always talking about Nvidia, 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 Nvidia. So let's see what's happened over the last 1 day. Nvidia's up almost 1%. Now, since we're not day traders, we're not too much worried about the 1 day. Let's look at the 5 day with the Nvidia. 5 days has been up about 1.25%. How about the 1 month? What's been happening for 1 month? 1 month, it's been up 17%. Whoa, that's a big jump. Well, I'll tell you what, since we're not too worried about the 1 month, let's take a look at the 1 year. And the 1 year, it's been up about 19%. Now, remember, most of all that upside has just happened in the last 1 month. The other 2% happened in the 11 months prior to that. So Nvidia has been kind of a rough stock for most of the year, but when you think about what's happened in the last 1 month, it really picked up quite a bit, it looks like. So I'll tell you what, we did about 19% over the past year. So let's go ahead and jump into that. We're going to take a look next at one stock that I think you might find interesting. This one's called Palantir Technologies, and it's really been up a lot. Look at this, 457% almost this year. And I had to look up what they do, and this is actually data in analytics. A lot of it's based on anti-terrorism. So it's the U.S. military and our Defense Department was using a lot of these statistics as something about how to keep us safe at home. And it looks like this stock's been up an amazing 457% in the last year. A lot of people are looking at this one, US-based stock. Let's take a look at what's been happening last 6 months. We'll kind of go back here. It's been up about 83% in the last 6 months. Last 1 month, about 12%. And let's see what's happened the last one day on this. All right, been up about 0.5%. This is a relatively new stock. If we look at the 5 year on this one, it did have some kind of highs where it was close to what it is now. It went up to about $35.18. It's actually at $132 now. So it's up quite a bit. Over time, it went from $9.20 all the way up to $132.81. Now, for some reason, in this format mode for mobile phone, uh, it doesn't quite format where it shows all the way up where it's getting up over 100, close to $150. But we can look at the stock price right there to see what it's trading at, and we can see $133. So, moral of the story, I guess this week, or to center ourselves with what's going on, it's been an interesting time in the market. Even though we've gone through the tariffs this year, the terrible tariffs, as some people would say, stock market generally looking pretty darn robust in the 1 year period, according to the major indexes. Gold has been an exceptional winner over the last year. And these other stocks we're looking at, poor Intel, sad story. It seems like it's not cutting too many breaks. Nvidia, um, for people who held out through the dip and had it come back to where it was, they're feeling happy. For people who might have sold during the low point, they might be feeling sad over the last year. But it has been relatively robust, keeping up with the general market overall, perhaps a little bit more robust than the general market overall in the 1 year, with some more volatility than what the general market has experienced. And then an interesting stock, interesting stock. Depending on where this country is going, you might want to keep an eye on Palantir Technologies Inc. Might be an interesting one to research. Now, the last thing I'd like to leave you with today is a video that's been taking off. It's been a lot of people have been watching this one. It's by a very respected investor. In fact, this guy was the largest hedge fund manager in United States history, and I think you'll enjoy watching this uh, seminar if you get the chance. Let me see if I can get back to my controls here. I want to make sure I'm sharing my screen. And I enjoyed watching this. I came across this a few days ago, and I haven't watched the whole thing, but I've watched a decent amount of it. And having lived overseas, I actually lived in China for part of my life, so I've got some experience. I like what it's looking at with the international markets and things, and it does seem to have a focus on China, but this is called Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order by Ray Dalio. So this video has actually gotten 70 million views in the last 3 years. And I think if you watch it, if you get a chance to watch it, uh, quite an amazing video, very entertaining, and I hope that you'll enjoy watching it. It talks about the United States economy. It talks about the different times where we had the mortgage crisis. It talks about the money supply expanding. Talks about a whole lot of different things. And for 45 minutes of watching, I think you'll enjoy it. Something that I hope will help you to feel more centered in your investment journey. Remember, Centerfield Wednesday. Thank you for joining me for the first episode. I hope your Wednesday is a good one and the rest of the week. I'll catch up with you next Wednesday with another Centerfield Wednesday, where we look back on Monday and Tuesday, look at a few stocks that are being talked about, and do some kind of a tip to keep us centered as we work on our investment journey long term. So remember, this is not specific financial advice. I encourage you to do your own research, work with a financial advisor, and if you need a financial advisor, feel free to hit me up. I'll see, according to licensure and whatnot, if we're able to work together and if we're a good fit. I'd love to get to know you better. Have a great rest of the week. Take care. Bye bye.